Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. As always, likes, comments, and subscribes are appreciated as they do help with my YouTube rankings. Welcome back to another News I Missed, where I go over news I missed because there's always a lot of stuff to cover. So we do it here in these videos. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. The world's largest cryptocurrency continues to test lower levels while moving below $42,000 levels at the start of the weekend. While it's difficult to predict any bottom at this point, some useful indicators can help us in indicating the further line of action. The news today is the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index has dropped to its lowest level since summer of last year. This shows that extreme fear among Bitcoin investors. As per historical trends, it could be a good time for Bitcoin dip buyers. You may notice the trend as it has been happening over the last couple of days. By the time we saw that the market was slightly shaky around Tuesday and Wednesday, I told you the first step is always the buy the dip news. Whenever, and it's usually, there's two forms of it. The first form is if we have a dip in price, we usually hear from the larger institutions that they have bought the dip. The other really extreme dips that we end up having, like we're currently in right now, we usually tend to get a wave of should this be the time that you are going to be buying the dip news? And then it usually ends up being usually next week. We'll test my theory by next Friday. It's usually going to be around 2 or 3 companies, usually 3, who come forward to say that they've bought the dip. But once again, even on this channel, you've noticed that the last couple of videos have had the buy the dip kind of thing news inside of it because it's all over the place right now talking about exactly how low we have gone. A lot of people are assuming that $40,000 is going to be the actual bounce off point. Like the market simply won't, air quotes, let it go any lower than that. I tried to make the graph as large as I could here without actually expanding the entirety of the other pages. I think it's just a realistic general fear of the entirety of every single market. We've gone over that over the last couple of months as well, as you have seen, whether it be from housing, whether it be from stocks, equities, other markets around the world, from inflation, housing prices, food prices, you kind of name it. It's really all over the place right now. So, it seems completely logical that our market would get swept up in the wave, as it were. But as far as, once again, I still believe that a very large amount of people who are actually in the crypto market tend to be fairly new. You know, we have the originals, you have the other early adopters, and then you have this huge wave of people who got into the cryptocurrency market simply because they believe that this is going to be like a cut and dry thing. And really, you get into it, you put $5 into it, you walk away a millionaire, you brag to everybody how you bought some Bitcoin, and that's kind of how it ends. Once again, that's not what's going to happen, as you can kind of tell right now. The entire idea of Bitcoin in the wider cryptocurrency market, especially Bitcoin, has to do with and I'll say it lightly, the usurping of the US dollar. As we see the US dollar is continuing to struggle, if the world's reserve currency is struggling, usually we get an indication that they are. The other currencies around the world are also struggling, and therefore this is a potential doorway for Bitcoin to kind of move and eventually, no one knows whenily, maybe hit $500,000 to $1 million per coin, but it's not going to happen overnight. I actually, and I know it sounds weird, but I appreciate moments like this because I think it grounds people a lot more. I think a lot of people, this is why we're talking about the fear and greed index. When people get too greedy, prices begin to spike for no apparent reason. Everyone starts throwing their money into the market, thinking that this is a very easy way for them to make tons of money. And then when the market falls back down, those who remain, who are still in the market, kind of get to understand the market a lot more and understand that this is why when I say, or when other people say, it's a very volatile market, this is what we mean. It's not all going up. If you look at charts from 2013, 17, and it's all, wow, prices only went up, but you miss these moments where everyone was like, what in the world is going on in this market? And that's the fear. So fear does pass, as with everything in real life. It's just a matter of, world markets are looking terrible right now. So anyway, yeah, the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index is at its lowest, meaning we are the most fearful that we've been for a very long while. And eventually it will get greedy again, because that's just how the cycles go. Yeah, that's the Fear and Greed Index news. And let's move on. Next up, I thought we spoke about this before, but apparently we did not, or we spoke about the beginning of it. I'm not really sure. GameStop's stock has surged another 7% higher with a report about its NFT marketplace. News Research has claimed, they said, this video game retailer is soon to launch a marketplace for NFTs. Soon after the news, GameStop's share price rose by 20%. I'm pretty sure that we had news about 2 or 3 weeks ago that GameStop was, maybe it was that they were thinking of getting into the NFT space or something along the lines of blockchain. It was GameStop, Blockbuster, and there was one other company. It was Radio Shack. It was Radio Shack, because I remember I had a whole spiel about Radio Shack. Anyway, so the point is, apparently GameStop and many other companies are thinking of getting into the NFT space. Apparently, this news was finally released to the public, and their share price went up quite dramatically. We'll see exactly what they end up doing with it. I tried to remain optimistic in some parts of these things. I'm terrified of these 3 companies who are now moving into the NFT space, trying to become very, exclusive. The other 2 NFT platforms that launched before that tried to just be exclusive only had big name artists, and I'm air quoting without air quoting. No one talks about them. No one uses them. The platform that did make it, it's the platform where anyone can build stuff on top of it. And that's just kind of what it is. So anyway, apparently GameStop is officially launching an NFT marketplace. Their shares have surged in price on the stock markets. And let's move on, but also still tying loosely into this one as well. Video game giant Konami is apparently launching an NFT auction to commemorate the Castlevania franchise. The box will include 14 tokens, audio files, and a poster art showing scenes from early Nintendo games. The auction will begin in about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 days from now, whenever this video actually ends up going live. The Castlevania 35th Anniversary NFT Collection online portal was unveiled by Konami on Thursday. The collection will be auctioned off on the NFT platform OpenSea. Hello. The NFTs from Konami will pay tribute to the franchise, which began with the NES Castlevania in 1986. Jeez Louise, that was a while ago. So yeah, I told you before, nearly every company is in the NFT space in some sort of way. Here's the actual, I believe here's the press release, if you will, right here for what's going to be happening. Every single company in some sort of way is now in the NFT space. It's more a matter of them finding time to announce it, because if you've watched, hopefully, my other video on the other channel, Money Rules, I actually went over why NFTs are going to be big, or why there's such a huge amount of energy around them, but also the other applications for NFTs, especially when it even comes to real estate. So yeah, anyway, expect more companies. I assume at some point every single company will either have tried to have their own cryptocurrency exchange or try to have had their own NFT platform, because that's just how logic works. Anyway, that's the GameStop, definitely NFT, Konami getting into NFT, also news. And yeah, let's move on. Also in the news, which I saw a lot of people talking about, and it's not exactly that way, one of the largest electronic manufacturers globally, Samsung, is once again in the news. They are, I think, making an NFT TV. They're also making, I think, an NFT marketplace. I think they were one of them. Will apparently be getting exposure to Cardano following its latest partnership with blockchain-based climate solution platform Veritree. This is according to the head of brand and communications at the Cardano Foundation, Sydney Vollmer, announced on Monday during the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. Samsung Electronics America has teamed up with Veritree to plant over 2 million mangrove trees in Madagascar over the next 3 months. Veritree which was developed by Tentree, will be used to provide greater transparency of the planting process. The technology allows tree planters to track trees on their phones from planting sites and connect individual donations on the land areas they have helped to restore. Veritree records will then be stored on the smart contract platform Cardano. So this news was floating around that Cardano had another major partnership and they had partnered with Veritree and they were going to be planting 2 million trees with Samsung, and there was all this crazy stuff floating around. I'm here to simply clarify to you, no, the thing is Samsung has partnered with Veritree. That's what it is. The other usage is that Veritree just happens to actually record their work on top of Cardano. There is no direct Cardano to Samsung partnership, just so we can get that completely clear, because a lot of people keep throwing this news around that Cardano has partnered with Samsung, and that is not even remotely close to what it is. For those of you, we had a major problem with these things around 2018, 2019, for those of you who were not here. There was one particular, there were multiple, but there was one particular company who kept on announcing that they had partnerships and they were not partnerships. One of the ones that really let me know that they were just garbage was when they announced that they had partnered with Amazon. And everyone was like, well, here we go. The coin's going to hit $5 a token. And then when you read through the news, what it was that company, that blockchain cryptocurrency company, was using Amazon Web Services. And that was their declared partnership with Amazon. So this is kind of something similar. Cardano didn't explicitly come out and say, hey, partnership with Samsung, but it's along the same exact lines. Anyway, so that's once again, this is why a lot of people have, dare I say, faith in Ethereum, because Ethereum has the actual Enterprise Ethereum Alliance and it's like verifiable companies who are going to be using Ethereum. But that's besides the point. So cool. The other major talking point would be, at least they are using Cardano, because this is quite, if at some point in the future someone needs to verify these things, well, they have to go and use Cardano again. So that's kind of the, that's cool. Anyway, that's the Cardano Samsung planting trees, what it actually is news. And yeah, let's move on. Also in the news, and I'm going to tell you some logic really quick. A US-based publicly traded blockchain infrastructure and analytics company called BTCS has announced it will offer dividends payable in Bitcoin to its shareholders. Hold on. Apparently becoming the world's first public company to do so. According to the announcement from BTCS on Wednesday, the company will give investors the option to receive their dividends paid in Bitcoin later this year, saying cryptocurrency adoption and financial freedom is paramount to the company's ethos. Following today's announcement, shares of BTCS, as usual, on the NASDAQ jumped by 40% in the matter of 15 minutes after the market opened. This happens all the time. For those of you who weren't here years ago in the cryptocurrency space, I know that I keep talking about years ago, but it's very relevant. The point is, every single time years ago, especially even now, whenever any company back then announced that they had simply added nothing else, the name blockchain to their name, their stock price went up by 130%. If they announced that they were looking at Bitcoin, stock went up by 120%. It was just really weird, like, what was the other one? Was it blockchain iced tea or something like that? It was just really... Anyway, the Bitcoin dividend, known as a bividend, which is the worst thing I've ever heard, will be based on Bitcoin's US dollar market price as the ex-dividend day. The company which was developed infrastructure, BTCS said it intends to pay a dividend of 5 cents per share, with the ex-dividend date being the 16th of March of this year. And apparently you have to be a shareholder before you can actually receive this Bitcoin dividend. So the interesting part for me is that a lot of companies have come forward over the last couple of years and made sure to announce that they have gotten into cryptocurrency space in some sort of way. And by holding their X, whatever that might be, you can also stand to get some Bitcoin yourself. One of the things that I never really got is, because a lot of people do find news like this quite exciting. If Now, it's not anymore, but if their share price, it says right here, was at $4.23, wouldn't it simply make more sense just to use that $4.23 just to simply buy Bitcoin as opposed to waiting to get 5 cents worth of Bitcoin? Not financial advice. It's just more of a, logic numbers here. Also, if you look at the actual numbers, even if it was $4.23 where the stock stood, a 10% dividend would be 42 cents. A 1% dividend would be 4 cents. So this is around a 1.2% dividend, with inflation being around like 6%. I'm not trying to knock it. It's just more of this keeps happening over and over. And I know that news like this ends up becoming quite popular as the stock world, traditional world, and the crypto world blend together ever more every single day. But why? It's kind of like, I won't name the company, but there was another company that was issuing shares that were mimics of Bitcoin. And I was like, why would you not just buy the Bitcoin yourself? Because what happens is you're going to get paid out in US dollars as opposed. Anyway, so that's here's the actual press release, I believe, for it right here. It says BTC as first ever NASDAQ listed company to offer a dividend payable in Bitcoin. You could also, once again, just throwing out logic here, as opposed to buying the stock and waiting for 5 cents worth of Bitcoin, you could simply buy the Bitcoin as opposed to buying the stock. And there's also tons of verifiable major cryptocurrency exchanges, I won't name the top 2, who actually allow you to even lend out and loan your Bitcoin, and you would definitely get more than 5 cents as well. That's good. I'm glad that they're the first company, I guess, ever in the world, not really sure, to do this. And I'm sure people will love their thing because, the being able to own stock but also getting Bitcoin on the side kind of thing. But, just logic, just actual logic. Alrighty, let's move on. And to finish things off, Abu Dhabi, the capital of the UAE, has stated that it is looking to become one of the biggest crypto hubs in the world. The region is looking to reduce its reliance on gas and oil, very smart, while boosting its investment in the crypto space. The UAE was one of the first nations to establish regulations for the growing crypto space, having done so in 2018. 2018. Remember when I always say, all the other countries who keep talking about cryptocurrency regulations and they keep, it's going to take us around 7 years to do so. How weird that an entire nation was able to do so in a year. Almost seems like every other nation could do the exact same thing. Since then, many new digital currency trading platforms and related businesses have flocked to the country as a means of establishing themselves in a legit financial space. 2 of the regulated exchanges, one is called Matrix and one is called Midchains, are among the most renowned in the platform in the world. The confirmation comes by the way of Shorafa Al-Mamadi, chairman of the Abu Dhabi Department of Economic Development. In an interview, Mamadi says that the nation is working to attract as much crypto business as it can and that it wants to be an influential point in what is becoming one of the fastest growing arenas in the world of finance. Don't even have to read anymore. So the news that Abu Dhabi is trying to become the crypto hub is not surprising. Very wealthy, or so I've seen and heard in news and podcasts and documentaries. Not surprising at all. I think we are beginning to see the shaping of, how do I say this? The countries that have the first mover advantage are going to either continue to be or will become even wealthier than they currently are. Why it's taking so many other countries so long, I'm not really sure. The news that we keep getting about how Switzerland, maybe it's just really rich countries are just smarter with money. I'm not really sure. Anyway, so yeah, Abu Dhabi is trying to be a Bitcoin haven. There's no surprise there. I told you this years ago. Even just completely logically, every country who got quick regulations, just even if you place it on the same par as stocks and just tax them a little bit lower, Tons of people will fly to your area. And you know what happens when you tell people who can potentially make your company billions, hey, come work with us and you have a lower tax rate? They go to work for you and they make your company and country billions of dollars. It, just logic pie over here. Anyway, here's the actual press release right here from Yahoo Finance. Abu Dhabi aiming to become global cryptocurrency leader, because I'm tired of saying the word logic, but it's just logic. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. Well, there's like no one on the Bitcoin side. Jeez Louise. I do hope you've all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Hope you're all having a great weekend. Try to make sure to relax, enjoy yourself if you can. Have a hot chocolate with a friend. Just do something nice for yourself. I like hot chocolate. Anyway, yeah, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you all once again, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.